Everyone's, you know, periods of we handle it, and there's periods where it's real tough. So I think it's just a wave of emotions right now. Sometimes we're good. Right now I'm good. You know, right now I'm good. And the busier we keep, it's easier. And then when you have time to reflect and sit down and relax.
Because you were saying on the phone, and but you were saying you have so many, just since then, so many unanswered phone calls. You haven't even called your son back.
I haven't, you know, I haven't. They're in school, and it was tough on them. We're family, friends. I mean, for me, it goes back even before he was a police officer. So, you know, my boys loved him, and he would watch him when Dad get that call. I had to come out when I was working the road, and I had to come out overtime or get called out on something. And if I needed somebody to watch the boys, Justin was there, and he was there. He played Nintendo with them. He took them out, and we spent a lot of time with the family, my family and their family. Spent a lot of time together. Dave and I would go to football games together with the boys when they were younger, and throw them all in the car, and I'd drive. And so there's a lot of history between us, and just years of friendships. And
this isn't just a chief and one of his officers. This is
so much deeper than that right now for me. And I know a lot of our officers too. Our officers, Justin came on the department in 2012, and he made it his own. He made it on his own. The guys loved him. He made those friendships. He would go out with them. I believe, you know, if I'm not mistaken, the night before, there's a group of them that went out and had dinner, or went to somebody's house and had dinner. I know the guys, and Justin was part of that. They'd go to someone's house, play cards, and just relax. And so he was really a big part of this department, not only as a police officer, but as a friend.
And I don't know that you can answer this, and I know we don't want to talk about the investigation. What was he doing that night, that day? Was he patrolling? Was he dispatching? What was he doing then? My assumption would have been he was on patrol. You know, he just got on duty. That's the shift change, so, you know. Talk about just when you walk in the door and there's flowers.
Oh.
The outpouring of support.
Wow, it's overwhelming. The community, just not here. I mean, the Girard's been so great, and it always has been a great time. It's just a very tight-knit community, a very caring community, a lot of pride, just everywhere. Food keeps coming in, flowers, fruit, cards from St. Rose, the kids at St. Rose, the kids in the intermediate school and the grade schools and the high schools and the junior high here, and the support we have from the schools and the administration. Our administration has been, I mean, they have just been here since this happened with me and our officers.
I'm going to guess you were there yesterday at the funeral home when his body was received.
Unfortunately, I was not.
Oh, well, the outpouring we saw, we were standing there.
It was amazing. It was amazing. No, unfortunately, I was not. You know, and I've told our officers, and they're great. We still have a community to protect. We still have to have. We still have calls coming in. We still have follow-up investigations to do. And you know, as much as I wanted to be there, there were other issues that I had to be with. I had to go with the family yesterday at a point. So, yes.
And I don't even know how you answer this. I don't know how to ask it. Have you folks had any sort of chaplains, counseling, anything? I'm sure that's something.
We, as a department, have not yet. We have set up something through
a trooper with the Ohio State Patrol. He actually came in and talked to myself and our administrative captain, O'Brien. We talked to him in depth for a period of time. We do have a system in place when and where we need it, which will be soon.
You've been an officer, I'm going to guess, for an awfully long time.
Yeah.
I see some of the photographs.
Yeah, I'm
You're
old.
there, road officer patrolling and stuff.
I'm young and then I'm old over there, yeah.
It's one of those you never think it's going to happen, whether in your community or your whatever. Just that moment when you get that call at whatever it was, 10:15, 20 after 10. What went through your mind?
Worst call of my life. Worst call of my life. I can't even, I don't know, maybe one day I'll be able to answer that. I have no answers right now about that. No, I don't.
One of the gentlemen that was walking thought maybe there's a change of venue for this weekend. They may be moving things.
You know what? I can't say that.
Okay.
I'm not going to say it hasn't been talked about. As a matter of fact, when you called me, I received a call from people in charge of the arrangements here. So I'll be meeting with them if there is a change. And I don't think anybody really understands. I mean, you know, our last police funeral line of death was Mike Hartzell. So, and that outpouring was just fantastic, the support there. So you're just judging off of that, it's going to be very, very overwhelming. And we're working with a lot of I mean, there's one, I can't tell you what this community, the police community, has done for us. I mean, Niles, Warren, Ohio State Patrol. I don't want to leave anybody out, Trumbull County Sheriff's, Hubbard Township. I mean, just anybody in this valley. I mean, it's the support we have from them. The help, it's amazing. It's amazing. Liberty, I mean, Weathersfield.
Yeah.
I mean, I could name them all. You know.
What if there is, given all the support, community, school kids? What if anything would you tell them now? Again, you know.
I don't know what to tell anybody yet. I don't. We were laughing, a couple of guys, and we had a brief moment here, and I said, you know, somebody said, you know, everyone comes to you and have been, and I think this is the first time I never had an answer. I just don't, Jerry. Again, like I said, maybe once in a month, a week, I don't know. Maybe once I will, I don't know. I don't know. I don't.
Is there anything we can do for you?
Yeah, you know, not for me, for the family. For the family, they're a wonderful family. It's just a wonderful family, and I'm so close to them, and they have done so much for this community. They've given to this community forever.
Well, as you see, he was a teacher, right?
He was the principal at the intermediate school, and that's how we met. I was appointed to the school resource officer job. And I had two young men who went to school there, and I was in the school, and Dave and I hit it off since that day one, and my boys looked up to him as the principal. He's just a fantastic educator. We had that friendship that we'd pack up kids and go to basketball games and football games. We took kids home who were sick and who couldn't get rides home. And Dave was just, I mean, it's the family. Justin's the same way. Justin grew up just like that. He just...
Did you ever think, as seeing him as a young boy, that he would grow up to be a police officer? I know in talking to his parents yesterday, they kind of weren't sure at first, and then he kind of settled that way.
You know, I don't know if I could say early on. I know once we start talking about it, and he got a sense of, he met some guys down here, and he had known some, and then he had met some, and he did some ride-alongs with us, and you know, I knew he would serve the community somehow, and then when this came along, he started as a dispatcher for us, and I thought that was a good start, you know, and that's how I got here, and I think that's the most important job in this department is that dispatcher, and he started there and he fell in love with it, and he wanted to pursue it. Yes, good for him.
How long were you with the department? I'm guessing you started here.
84. And he's just
started here 5 years ago.
Yeah.
More or less. Yeah.
July 8th, 2012. Yeah.
Chief, you had touched on this, that you guys still have jobs to do.
Mhm.
How do you keep your officers focused on that at this time?
You know what? I have a great administrative captain. Chris O'Brien has been fantastic. And while I try to get all through this, and Chris keeps me level, and he is actually running that unit, not the unit, but the men. He's making all the executive calls out there. He's doing a great job. Try to support him. You know, just try to support him. We try to give everyone little breaks. Everyone wants a part of something, and we realize that, and we're trying to do that. We're trying to accommodate it. But our men are, you know, you got a lot of guys who grew up here, so this wasn't even an afterthought. They're going to go out there and protecting the community. They're out there working. They're asking if they need us to work. Do we need them to work over? Do they? And they're doing it. They're answering calls. They're still going on calls. They're still going on domestics and fights and theft calls, and they're still doing reports, and our detective bureau is still following up. And I think it's just natural. I think that's the difference in any other job. This one just keeps going. And, you know, they're amazing. These men and women that I have here are amazing. They just keep working. And they keep taking calls, and they're not batting an eye. They're just going. And they're not asking questions, they're just doing it. And they're volunteering a lot of time. It's a great group. And Chris is doing a great job. While there's certain things I have to do, and I know that. And as much as I want to go out there and try to run it, I know I can't. I know there's a delegation process, and I have to. So, and I have no, you know what? I just have all the confidence in the world in him, so it doesn't even bother me. I know it's running well, so.